YouTube. This is B-Boy Turn 1990. I'm right here with
SlimXTeamSymmetry. What's going on, you guys?
And so now we're both here at YCS Miami, my hometown, and we're going to talk about our thoughts about the meta deck called Fire Fist, and we're going to see how it works with this meta and with a meta in the future, what can counter it and what it can counter.
So first off, you guys already know the basics. You have your bear, which is God. You have your gorilla, which is cool, and you have dragon, which I actually don't like. I don't like dragon that much, but you need it in the deck. There are those situations where you can use the reborn effect. It's really good. If you can open dragon and tanky, it's really good. You can get a trap. I really like it. This was actually the deck I was going to run if I was playing in the main event. Due to some reasons, I wasn't able to play in the main event, but I really do like the deck, and I think that it's doing really well for just having what it has now. A lot of people wanted to base their builds off the OCG, and the thing is, the OCG has chicken. The chicken loop is broken, and the thing is that we couldn't really base it off that, so we were just going off of what was going on YouTube, what builds are on, like the forums and stuff. And a lot of people were like, you guys know you have to run 3 bear. Gorillas you can run 2 or 3 on your, depending on your preference. And dragon like 2. I've seen people even run just 1. A lot of people are not a fan of this card. I wasn't at first, but with dragon and Tenki, it's 1900. I usually like to search for one of my favorite traps is honestly Tenkin. This card is like a lance. It's really good. It has a lingering 300 for all the monsters. It's really, really good. And it makes them waste cards like Dark Hole. You know, they use 1-for-1 removal. Good against Bottomless, Torrential, all these cards. And I don't know. My playstyle, I've always liked, of course, Dino Rabbit with lances. So I kind of look at this kind of like a different take on like just like the aggression of Dino Rabbit, but with like different variants of lances. You can run lance in the deck, and Tekken is just that added protection. I like going like turn 1, I like going turn 1 Tiger King, and then having Tenkin, having a Tenki that I use, and you know, like having Tenkin, you just feel safe. You feel safer than you would if you didn't have it, because at least your bear, your Tiger King will go up to 25, so I like it like that. Tensu, everyone knows, is ridiculous. It's a double summon. It's I've noticed like by running the rabbit build, it's more live. A lot of people were running just pure Fire Fist, and I mean it was good. I tried it myself, but I like the rabbit build because I have a bad habit of drawing vanillas, whether it be Dino Rabbit or this deck. So I could have Tensu with bear, and I could bring Werewolf, Gene Warped, and I mean I got a 2100 beater right there. Like that's really good. I like starting off. If I open a vanilla, I'm like Tanky, Search, Summon, Gene Warped. I got a 2100 beater, set some back row. You know, like you feel like you're in a good position most of the time. So yeah, what do you want to add about it?
I think I like that deck too because we all know Beast Warriors and Fires haven't had a lot of stuff lately. The latest Fire was Devils right now. They're a decent deck, but now we have no Beast Warriors. The last Beast Warriors were Gladiator Beasts. Now we have Fire Fists that are like Beast Warriors and Fire. And right now, this deck is taking over the meta by Firestorm. I might have to say.
Yeah, basically. They still gotta compete with water though. Like straight up, like Mermail is ridiculous. You know, the ban list didn't even touch it. Yes, this is 10K and this is 10K. So yeah, buy 10K.
And here's the thing with what I love about Mermails is their versatility with like especially with the Atlanteans. So when the Atlanteans go to grave, get off their plays off. So both of these decks I really do love the most, but if it comes down to like who I like in meta wise, I would have to say Fire Fist because they go off at different plays. They can set up their plays easily, and with Tenkan it's like added protection, like Forbidden Lens, like Slim said. So we have more protection with these guys, and also get your plays off. That's kind of what makes a Fire Fist deck. I'm not saying Mermails are bad, but Mermails can have like can get stopped a little bit.
Mermails are amazing. Like I will never deny that. I think the deck is ridiculous. It's amazing.
Same here, I can't
the thing is that Fire Fists have 3 Rotas. I mean that's like, you know, that's just kind of crazy when you think about it. But Water has 3 Sphere. They have Divas. They have enough stuff to recruit. They got 3 Undynes. They got a bunch of stuff. They're both in competition to outspeed the other, get aggression on the board, and push for game. What I feel gives this deck the advantage maybe at times is the damage step effects. But at the same time, I've been hearing a lot of things that Mermails, a lot of Mermail players tell me I don't have a problem against Fire Fist. Maybe they already have adapted like how to play against the deck. Like, obviously going into this YCS, you have to. So I feel that both decks are good. Like both decks are very viable. I just like Fire Fist. It's something new. It's something that, I mean, what I like about this is honestly, deck devastation virus doesn't do nothing to this deck. But that's one thing that I noticed early on, because like everyone knows I love Dark World, and that you can't deck dev these guys. So like automatically Dark World didn't seem like a good idea to me. But Dark World and Sam's are the sleeper decks of this event. In case people are wondering, those are the two decks that are being played a lot of, and they're doing quite well. There are a lot of Dark Worlds at top tables. I don't know how it is now. We're going into round 8.
Round 8, but there's not a lot of Dark Worlds.
They're not. See, that's the thing with Dark World, you guys. Sometimes it just runs out of steam, unfortunately. But it's still a good deck, don't get me wrong.
Like, I still love it. With everything that Fire Fist can put on the field in one turn.
Yeah. Or some other decks like Mermills and Inzectors. Exactly. And like the thing with like some decks like Dino Rabbits and Inzectors, for prime examples, is like Dino Rabbits, they can main Macrocosmos, which destroys Dark Worlds, while Inzectors, they side Deep Fissures, because like if you all know about Inzectors is that Inzector starts as spell cards and will still be spell cards before the after effect resolves. So Deep Fissures will not affect them much as Macrocosmos. So Deep Fissure with Dark Worlds, you got yourself Inzectors pretty much can rape the crap out of Dark Worlds.
So that's one thing. I feel the deck's really good. I feel the deck's gonna get better, of course, with the release of the new pack. Everyone's going to be running the chicken build, the spirited chicken build, using the horse prince, or whatever its name is, that fusion. Yeah, that fusion, that synchro. I like the deck though. A lot of people are playing the deck. I've seen a lot of cool plays that I didn't even think of before. I watch a lot of people play the deck. I think the deck has a lot of potential, and I think that, like I always say of every deck in the format, if it's piloted by the right player, it will do well. Because the players are always the ones that determine how well the deck's going to do. The cards do the work, but the player makes the move. So I feel that is something that a lot of people need to understand. Like there's a lot of mirror matches going on, a lot of wind-up mirror matches. The person that wins usually is someone that outplays the other, unless like they open broken the other opponent's is not. But a lot of these matches I'm seeing, the fields look even. You have 4 back row, you have 3 monsters on board. Who's gonna basically croak first? Who's gonna, bait out the other? Who's gonna outplay the other? Whether it be through skill, through mind games, whatever it is. And that's what I feel that like even this match is the same way. The ability to like, depending, are you maining lands? Are you not maining lands? Are you maining Horn of the Phantom Beast? I've seen Horn of the Phantom Beast in a couple builds, and I don't think it's absolutely necessary. I feel that you have enough speed in the deck, but people want to draw cards. You always want to draw cards, so that's something you could try. But I think overall the deck's solid. I like the deck, and I think the deck's going to do well in the next format.
So now we gone through our basics, our thoughts about it. Now we're going to think about like what this deck can counter and what counters it. So now we're going to start with what this deck can counter.
I've been hearing from a lot of people this has a great wind-up match. Apparently, like, it's able to bait a lot of things. It's able to get through a lot of things.
Debbie kills it with 1 card.
Yeah. So their damage sub effects are really good. Dino Rabbit is kind of a mixed bag of tricks, because if they open Rabbit Tour Guide and some back row, I mean, if that happens, that happens. But your vanillas are bigger. Like, I mean, G-Warp 2100 with Tenki is like, get over, the Saber Source. If they want to use Lance, you have your own Lance, and you have a lot of stuff, so.
And I also heard that this deck and against Inzectors, it's like a pretty like amazing match. Like it's like those classical matches like X-Sabers versus Black Wings, or Six Hands versus X-Sabers. It's like those classic Battle of the Titan kind of matches.
Right.
Because I went against an Fire Fist deck of my Inzectors, and even though I popped most of his stuff, but the Fire Fists are able to come back despite that their stuff got popped. So with the Inzectors and Fire Fist matchup, it's like that's like that one-of-a-kind matchup that deserves to be Hall of Fame.
It's a pretty interesting match, and just like, because I know you gotta go, man, but I want to add a couple things. I think the deck will do pretty well in the next format. Like I said, with the release of new cards, it's obviously going to do well. The decks it has trouble with, I still think it has trouble against Mermails. Just for the fact that Mermails are so tricky, they do so many crazy combos, they can get around all this stuff. if they can pop your back row, pop your monster, you know, when you just have a monster that's unopposed, like meaning you have nothing to protect it, I mean, it's not gonna last. The monsters are not that big in this deck. They rely on damage step. That's where I feel that their flaw is that a lot of the time they're relying on damage step. They're relying on Tenki going off. People are gonna MST Tenki for days. It's just a known fact.
Or Inzectors pop it.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, Inzectors were here. There weren't as many as I thought there would be. I expected a lot of people to still be running Inzectors. Chaos Dragons are everywhere. That deck is everywhere. I've seen that deck everywhere. I was talking to Akuma and he was saying that it's everywhere.
I wish I played against it more.
Yeah.
And the most surprising I've seen here lately are chain burns all around. I went against 2 chain burns, but that's just me. But
yeah.
My reaction exactly.
Well, no, I've run the deck myself at times. Like, there was a time back in Yu-Gi-Oh! Years ago where chain burn, you had to run chain burn if you wanted to do well. I have nothing against people that play chain burn, you know, like, it's a deck, so you kind of just, I know it's very, very hard to play against because, like, it's annoying, but the same can be said for pretty much any deck in the format. Every deck in the format has something that's just going to piss you off regardless. And I feel, you know, chain burn's no different, but chain burn has a serious flaw where, you know, if they can't burn you for enough, like, honestly, you rush them, they're not going to be able to come back from, like, too many heavy hits. So I feel that the deck, like, that deck is just whatever. It's chain burn. I don't have a lot to say on it. I mean, I'll play it at the locals. I might even play it at a regionals if I feel like it. But I'm not a fan of the deck. I mean, hearing good players lose to that deck is really just sad because they're meant to win those matches, and when they don't, it's like, well, you know, lost to chain burn.
So we got 2 more minutes to come up with some. Now let's see. Now for our closing statement, the future for this deck.
Chicken.
Chicken.
That's it. Chicken. Chicken. Horse prince. Chicken. Spirit. Chicken.
And one more thing. Who wants some Kentucky Fried Chicken? I'm just playing with you.
Nah, it's all good. It's all good.
All
no,
right.
I think the deck's going to do well, and like I said, piloted by the right player, it will be very successful. Will it win the YCS? I don't know. I will find out when I get first place's profile, so we'll see what happens. But anyways.
And one more thing. No matter what deck you play, adapt to every deck you battle. Because no matter what, like before you go to events like YCS, do your homework. Know these decks. Know their weaknesses, know their strengths. Try to play around. And then when you do, you can win any tournaments. So this is B-Boy Tour 1990.
Yep, SlimXTeamSymmetry.
And we're both gonna say
thank you for watching. Yep.